Now we are in 1 Ezra chapter 6, verse 1. Now the second year of the reign of Darius, Agias and Zechariah, the son of Adu, the prophets, prophesied unto the Yahudim in Yehuda, Jerusalem, in the name of Yah, Elohim of Israel, which was upon them. Then stood up Zerubbabel, the son of Sathiel, and Yahshua, the son of Yosedek, and began to build the house of Yah at Jerusalem, the prophets of Yah being with them and helping them. At the same time came unto them Sisinnes, the governor of Syria, and Phoenice, with Sathrabuzanes and his companions, and said unto them, By whose appointment do you build this house and this roof, and perform all these other things, and who are the workmen that perform these things? Nevertheless, the elders of the Yahudim obtained favor because Yah had visited their captivity. And they were not hindered from building until such a time as significance was given unto Darius concerning them, and an answer received. The copy of the letters which Sisinnes, governor of Syria, and Phoenice, and Sathbuzanes, with the companions, rulers in Syria and Phoenice, wrote and sent unto Darius, to King Darius, greeting. Verse 8. Let all things be known unto our master the king, that being come into the country of Yahudiah, and entered into the city of Jerusalem, we found in the city of Jerusalem the ancients of the Yahudim that were of the captivity. Okay, verse 9. Building a house unto Yah, great and new, of hewn, costly stones, and of timber already laid upon the wall, and those works are done with great speed, and the work goeth on prosperously in their hands, and with all esteem and diligence is it made. Then as we, these elders, say, By whose commandment build ye this house, and lay the foundations of these works? Therefore, to the intent that we might give knowledge unto thee by writing, we demand of them who were the chief doers, and we required of them the names and writing of their principal men. So they gave us this answer: We are the servants of Yah, which made heaven and earth. And as for this house, it was built many years ago by a king of Israel, great and strong, and was finished. But when our fathers provoked Yah unto wrath, and sinned against Yah of Israel, which is in heaven, he gave them over to the power of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, of the Chaldees, who pulled down the house and burned it, and carried away the people captives into Babylon. But in the first year that King Cyrus reigned over the country of Babylon, Cyrus the king wrote to build up this house. And the Kodesh vessels of gold and silver that Nebuchadnezzar had carried away out of the house of Jerusalem, and had set them in his own temple. Thus Cyrus the king brought forth again out of the temple at Babylon, and they were delivered into Zerubbabel and Sanballat the ruler. Verse 19. With commandments that he should carry away the same vessels, put them in the temple of Jerusalem, and that the temple of Yah should be built in his place. Then the same Sanballat, being come hither, laid the foundations of the house of Yah at Jerusalem, and from that time to this, being still a building, it is not yet fully ended. Now therefore it seemed good unto the king, let search be made among the records of King Cyrus. And if it be found that the building of the house of Yah at Jerusalem have been done with the consent of King Cyrus, and if our master the king be so minded, let him signify unto us thereof. Then commanded King Darius to seek among the records at Babylon, And so at Ecbatana, the palace, which is in the country of Madai, there was found a roll wherein these things were recorded. In the first year of the reign of Cyrus, King Cyrus commanded that the house of Yah at Jerusalem should be built again, where they do sacrifice with continual fire, whose height shall be 60 cubits, and the breadth 60 cubits, with 3 rows of hewn stones, and 1 row of new wood of that country, and the expenses thereof to be given out of the house of the king of Cyrus. Verse 26. And the Kodesh vessels of the house of Yah, both of gold, silver, Nebuchadnezzar took out of the house of Jerusalem and brought to Babylon, should be restored to the house of Jerusalem and be set in the place where they were before. And also he commanded that Cincinnatus, the governor of Syria, and Phinehas, and Satharbuzanes, and their companions, and those which were appointed rulers in Syria and Phinehas, should be careful not to meddle with the place, but suffer Zerubbabel, the servant of Yah, and governor of Yahudea, and the elders of the Yahudim to build the house of Yah in that place. I have commanded also to have it built up whole again, and that they look diligently to help those that be of the captivity of the Yahudim, till the house of Yah be finished. And out of the tribe of Silosyria and Phinehas, a portion carefully to be given these men for the sacrifices of Yah, that is, to Zerubbabel the governor, for bullocks and rams and lambs. And also corn, salt, wine, oil, and that continually every year without further question, according as the priest that be in Jerusalem shall signify to be daily spent. That offerings may be made to the Most High Yah for the king and for his children, that they may pray for their lives. 32. He commanded that whosoever should transgress, yes, or make light of anything aforespoken or written out of his own house, should a tree be taken, and he thereupon be hanged, and all his good seeds for the king. 33. And Yah therefore, whose name is there called upon, utterly destroyed every king and nation that stretched out his hand to hinder or and damage that house of Yah in Jerusalem. I, Darius, the king, have ordained that according unto these things it be done with diligence. This concludes 1 Ezra chapter 6.